Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Takedown with your host, Craig.
The nipple conversation threw me.
John.
I am not going to get a picture of you tattooed anywhere on me ever for any bet.
Damn it. What do I do with my teenage boy self?
And Jeff the Ref.
Schedule be damned. Don't make me DQ.
Let's get it on.
Episode 9. Welcome to T3 Takedown. I'm Jeff, also known as the Ref. I'm here with John, known as
John.
And
Just John.
Craig,
Craig!
The Machine.
The Machine.
Welcome.
I'm the demigod.
You're the demo. It sounds very...
What's wrong with you today?
It's very...
You know what, guys?
There's no pep in your step.
You know what,
Come
guys?
on, demigod. Pep it up!
I'm a little down.
Oh,
No.
Are you still sad about
Oh.
Becky?
I miss her. I miss her so much.
It's been 2 weeks, John.
You know.
Have you seen...
Remember the days when she was a wrestler?
Have you seen the controversy
You want to...
surrounding one Becky Lynch, who went back to her natural hair color of not fiery orange fake red
I like it.
and just actual red, and
Yeah.
everyone's
You know when
like
you're-
freaking out.
You know when you're pregnant, you're not supposed to dye
Right,
your hair.
exactly.
So that's probably why. And I know
Everybody's
John
freaking
is
out.
down in the dumps because last episode, he did not profess his love.
Right?
I
And
can't.
that's like the first time
look,
in how long?
When the woman you love
Right.
is pregnant with somebody else's child,
Yeah.
it's pretty much the...
Time to move on.
It's
Yeah,
time to
that's-
stop saying that you
So-
love her
So,
for 100 some odd episodes. Is that what
yeah,
you're saying?
so now I'm like a Ronin.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a masterless samurai, just roaming,
You are.
slashing, cutting, killing.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know,
Just waiting for some woman to steal your heart.
straight up gangster, but I ain't got no direction.
We're talking to you, Nia Jax.
Ooh, she has beautiful eyes.
Oh my.
Anyway, folks, welcome to Takedown.
Yeah.
We're so glad you could be here. This is episode 9, as Jeff mentioned. Well, let's mention all of our socials to get them out of the way. So don't forget to follow us on the Twitter at T3 Network, on Facebook and Instagram at T3 Network, on TikTok at T3 Network. I think I'm figuring it out still. We don't have any videos of us, but I think I'm figuring out how to do other kind of videos
As watching
on this.
TikTok videos, trying to figure out how this whole thing works,
Right.
I realized that we are in a very small demographic.
Mm-hmm.
So if you like watching old men
Right.
hit each other,
Yes.
you're going to love our TikToks.
I have a whole box full of burnt fluorescent bulbs, like the giant tubes. I feel like we can use those somehow.
Yeah, just smash them over each other's
Smash
backs.
each other, yeah. But it's got to be like a surprise thing.
Yeah.
That you don't know it's coming. And
But I'm just saying,
smash you over the
if
head.
that's your thing on TikTok, because we don't dance.
No.
And
We don't
you're
sing.
I'm not
Not
cool.
attractive looking.
Mhm,
Wait,
definitely.
What?
I mean, I do have a badonkadonk, like some of the girls on
Yeah.
TikTok.
You do have the badonkadonk.
I can shake it.
Shake it. Shake it like a Polaroid
Shake
picture.
it like a Polaroid picture. You can also email us, tripletbag@gmail.com, or call our hotline, 202-556-4433. Leave us a voicemail. We have not gotten many voicemails. We've gotten one from our good friend Kevin, and it doesn't count because it's from our good friend Kevin. We need somebody who we're not associated with on like a daily basis to leave us a voicemail so that we can chop John.
Can I
Yes.
put out a public service announcement?
Please
right now?
do. Please do.
All right. I just want to send this directed to a good friend of the show, a good friend of mine. Rick and Brenda, you calling, texting, and sending messages just basically threatening to chop me
Yes.
is not an okay thing.
I'm pretty sure it's an okay thing.
No.
I don't know this Brenda you speak of, so therefore she seems like she's a stranger to me.
Brenda is an amazing person.
Jeff,
And
do you know Brenda?
I know who she is.
I know who she is.
But see,
But I've never met Brenda.
no, John and I are friends with Rick. So
Right. Damn
by
it.
default,
Jeff,
she's
I'm
friends.
Be on my
just
side.
saying. The challenge was if we got something, one of you two would give me the chop.
Right.
There was some mild threats.
Rick
that happened.
and Brenda giving me a chop, my fat ass old man rib cage is going to collapse.
John, it's for the show. Do it for the show.
I'm afraid of them.
Speaking of, we are currently at 57 Instagram followers,
Yay.
which means we are getting closer and closer to that 100 where we both get to chop Jeff at the same time.
So what was your challenge?
We need ratings and reviews. Those
A
5
5-star
stars,
rating.
ratings and reviews. And listen, folks, you have to put, as much as you may not want to, you can do something small, you got to put some sort of words into the reviews, because when you just give us 5 stars, it's just like, we just have 5 stars. I don't know who did it. I don't know who gave it to us.
Put words
we
in,
want to
like,
give you credit
take
if you
that,
put
Craig.
words on it. Yeah, be like, this show is great. These guys are a bunch of donkeys who I laugh at. Get it, Craig. Something like that.
Get it, Craig.
Get it, Craig.
I want to put down a 5-star review with a ha take that, Craig.
Take
So,
it. That works too.
Craig,
Yes.
is there a website
Yes.
that these people can go to find
There
us?
is a website now.
What?
The website has been in production for many years.
The elves have been tinkering in the
When
background.
you see it, you'll realize we probably stopped working on it in 1995.
Angel Fire.
It's a GeoCities
It's
website.
GeoCities website.
Oh, you need your AOL Instant Messenger name to log into it and dial up. But if you go to T3podcastnetwork.com, we now have a website with pictures and shit on it. And there's little buttons to link to other things. We don't have anything linked to those buttons yet.
But we will
But
one
we
day.
will one day. But that's where you can find all of our content, not just the wrestling stuff, but the 30-day challenge stuff. Like we just put out the 30-day challenge for the song challenge, which I thought was a lot of
And
fun.
right now we're right in the midst, the heated midst
The heated
of our
midst.
30-day movie
the
challenge.
heat of the moment, one would say. We are in there for our movie challenge to come out at the end of this month. Plus, we have our new show coming out next week
New show.
called Value Meal. And there's going to be all sorts of stuff on the website related to that as well. So be sure to watch your feed. That should be coming out next week. But, gentlemen, this show
Who?
is about wrestling.
What? We're the gentlemen.
We're the gentlemen. We need to talk about wrestling.
Okay, let's talk wrestling.
Let's talk wrestling.
Let's get the crap out of the way first. Guys like WWE?
No.
Me
No.
either.
No.
All right, what else do you want to talk about?
Yeah.
No, we got to talk about a little bit.
Changes since we last spoke. We have new women's tag team champions.
Yeah.
Now, how long
Boss
do you
Hug,
think
Bailey
Dos Straps?
Dos Strapos,
Those straps.
Dos Beltos. What's her name?
Dos Strapos.
Bailey Dos Strapos. She's not Spanish by any means, right?
No.
Okay.
Actually, she is.
Is she?
Yeah.
Well, hello, friend. Tell us about one ascetic person.
What?
Ascended.
I don't know her percentage, but she is partially, I believe.
Jeff,
Did
how
she
much,
did she win
how
it
much
with
do you stalk Bailey?
those 23andMe things, and you found it in her
Her real name
trash?
is Pamela Martinez.
But how much do you stalk one Pamela Martinez?
Enough.
I had no idea that was her real name.
Enough.
Enough to know this.
Enough to know that.
I know Becky Lynch's real name is Rebecca Quinn.
It's true.
So, there you go.
Anyway, so now
they're the new women's,
tag team
Let me
champions.
ask you this about the women's tag team champions.
Yes.
There's been some controversy going on with Paige and Alexa and all this going on, where they're talking about you need to push the belt more. You need to develop the women's division. We've been saying that since the get-go. We're excited for the women's division. We think right now the epitome of women wrestling, the talent level is there, the ability is there. Why? Why is WWE fighting it so much?
I don't know. Is it WWE? Is it Vince McMahon, who still thinks it needs to be like a divas division, basically? Like,
You get that feeling too,
yes,
though, right?
That's what it is. Well, it's the same reason that they have all of these talented women to push in the women's division, and they just end up making most of them tag teams. That's all they end up doing. I mean, when we'll talk about Backlash, but this Backlash coming up, it's one tag team versus 4 individuals that are just together being a tag team.
Well, no, you got the 2 individual. Well, no, you're right. Okay.
Yeah,
I understand.
Because there's
where they're going. Okay.
I mean, they don't have any other women's tag team, so they just sort of make these up.
But they're only
and they pull
pushing
women from the rest of the.
But like, you've got Bailey, who now has the women's tag team champ, has the SmackDown women's belt. Mm-hmm. Where's Bianca Belair?
Yeah.
Why are you letting somebody like the Virtuoso go? Why are you not calling up Rhea Ripley or Io Shirai? Or why is it that they are not taking the time to develop more talent? It's just basically it's Charlotte, Sasha, Bailey, and
Asuka.
And Asuka just took Becky's place.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't, especially because you think about the fact that, like, you had Charlotte leading up to this in the house. She was on every show, every week.
And I think she still will be.
And she probably still will be, which is ridiculous.
Right.
And she said she's not done with NXT.
I don't know. I don't know why. I mean, we haven't seen Bianca Belair, like you said. We haven't seen Naomi in a long time.
Yeah. Now, there is all this COVID stuff still going on, and some of them may have chosen not to come
That's a
in.
possibility. That is a possibility.
Who knows the whole backstory, but
aside from
it's
that,
lacking.
Yeah.
Then I have another question.
Of course.
Rumor has it.
So much side eye.
Rumor has it that Ember Moon is done.
I saw.
She said she may be.
that her whatever injury she
Achilles.
had. Yeah, Achilles injury was a pretty significant injury. So I don't know. She did post that she cut all her hair off.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So she's changing her look.
So what does WWE do with her? Do they let her go? Do they keep her as a talent?
I don't know. I
Or-
did
She's
see
still
her-
on that Fox show. Does she still come on?
I was gonna say I saw her on Backstage a couple weeks ago. She was pretty good on there. I think she could do a decent job on commentary. But now they have Samoa Joe as permanent Raw commentator.
You think
Which,
he's
thank
done?
God.
Which I mean, they definitely needed him on there.
Do you think he's done?
I
I
hope,
know he's done for the time
Yeah,
being.
I
but,
hope not, because I think he's such a good in the ring talent as
yeah.
well.
But he's good on the
But
mic.
he's really good on the mic as a commentator, and taking the place of Jerry Lawler is just, a godsend. Luckily, because he needed to be off there. But there's so much weirds going on with WWE, and like I said, Jeff, I don't know how much of it is COVID. I don't know how much of it is just they don't know what to do. I don't know how much of it is the talent doesn't want to be there.
Well, the ratings are slipping. Vince McMahon is floundering. I mean, like, they've put out the announcement that, as of now, all the Raw and SmackDown talent have been put in one pool. Bruce Pritchard's going to run both shows, and we now have Paul Heyman just concentrating on his in-ring stuff.
Which is, 10 episodes a year?
Where's Lesnar?
Right.
So why would we see him?
They'll put him with somebody else.
I don't know.
They'll put him with Lashley.
No.
They'll do some big turn and some stupid
No,
shit.
because I think MVP and Lashley is a good combo.
Mm-hmm.
I finally have, although it's very minor, and I still don't like Bobby Lashley, the character, at all, I finally have some interest in his storyline, but I beg the question, when was a fucking full Nelson ever a killer hold?
Yeah, to end the show on,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way.
No.
It's like a transition move. It's
Exactly.
a control hold.
Exactly. It's a rest hold for everybody. It's like all right, everybody take a couple rests. Take a
No,
couple quick
Bobby
rests, so
Lashley
it looks
gets you and it swerves you around a little bit, and all of a sudden you're dead.
I don't know.
Get it.
I mean, I will honestly say, it's maybe struggle is a hard word, but it's not easy to watch some of these shows recently. Like,
It's been
Raw. Raw takes me a couple days.
Like, even NXT in your house, an
Mhm.
NXT pay-per-view is an exciting thing.
Yeah.
I didn't feel it.
Yeah, this one
No,
was
I didn't. I feel out of all of those three, NXT needs that crowd more than anybody else. Like, you really need that crowd in there, and they need a full Sail Arena crowd, like, really into it, not just
I just
extra
always find it
wrestlers
funny.
hanging
It's
out.
like, hey, fake audience standing behind the hockey glass, watch your fellow people that you probably practiced in the ring with this
Right.
morning have a show.
Remember when you pretended to be Bobby Lashley? Now you're going to see the real Bobby Lashley do it with Drew McIntyre.
But I do like the fact that they're doing something. WWE finally had something.
Yeah.
But it's nothing like what AEW's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Where, I mean, like, even just the simple fact of having Tully, Jake the Snake,
Mm-hmm.
Arn Anderson sitting in the bleachers scouting
Yeah.
FTR when they came back, that was genius.
Exactly. It's weird to me how they, at this point now, basically have the same amount of people in the arena or in the audience, yet somehow AEW is still handling it so much better with them being there. I don't know if
they
it's...
put them closer,
Yeah.
for one, and then they're interacting with each other.
Yeah,
and
it's
they're
probably that.
yelling. You'll hear them do chants, like
Right.
Cody,
Right.
Cody,
Mhm.
where the NXT people are just standing there looking like a video game
Yeah.
that's frozen.
Mm-hmm. Just rocking back and forth, waiting to be selected.
I'm just waiting for them to
Do, do, do,
superimpose the 1998 WWE SmackDown video game crowd.
They might as well just cover the
If
hockey
they-
glass with green screen.
If
and
they
just put
did
it for
that
people.
with the noises and cheers, it would be better.
It actually
Well,
that might be.
that's what the NBA's doing, where they're going to pump in NBA Jam 2019
Yeah,
crowd noise.
Crowd noise.
Yeah, you could just, when they make a bucket, you hit the button and it's like,
Yay, Nets,
Yeah.
go
He's on fire.
Wizards. But no, I mean, WWE right now, in all aspects, and NXT is probably the best out of the three, is struggling. Because I like NXT the best, I can talk more about them.
Right.
I absolutely love the whole thing they have going on with Dexter Lumis right now in the Undisputed Era.
I mean, he is so creepy.
I know.
So, and it's like you know what? Like, first there was him sliding out from under the ring, which was creepy. And then they're like, you know what? Let's push this serial killer psycho a little bit more and just have him do some art for you, like, and just draw picture. And it's like, what is happening?
Then, I mean, we get it all the way down to NXT where he comes up, he beats up Roderick Strong and Bobby Fish, throws him in the trunk, and then it's funny because the next 3 days on Twitter and Instagram, they even got Roderick Strong's wife to go in there and be like, he hasn't come home. Dexter Lumis, if I find you, return my husband. It's been hilarious. So, speaking of in your house, though, and I asked Jeff, I didn't get a chance to ask you when we were hanging out, because we don't hang out with you because you're not worthy of our company.
Nope, wouldn't be.
Anyway, I asked Jeff, so we've had a couple of production matches. We've had, the Undertaker AJ match.
Right, Boneyard match.
Yeah, we had the Firefly Funhouse.
Love the Funhouse.
The Funhouse. We've had this Roderick Strong, or not Roderick Strong, Adam Cole, Velveteen Dream, Backstreet Fight.
Backlot Brawl.
Yeah, and then we had AEW's
the Stadium Stampede.
Yeah, the Stadium Stampede. There's 4 right there.
Yeah.
List them in your favorite order.
Ooh.
I would probably still go Stadium Stampede number 1. I think based on nostalgia, I would do Firefly Funhouse number 2, just because I smiled a lot during that one. Then I'd probably go Velveteen Dream Cole and then Boneyard.
What about you, Hefe?
I would do Stampede first. Second, I would do the Backlot Brawl. I really enjoyed that. It was good because it was actual wrestling.
Yeah.
And then I would do probably the Boneyard match because there was still some form of fighting.
Yeah.
And
there wasn't a lot of
that.
that.
The Funhouse. It wasn't. While I enjoyed it,
right? We all love.
If you're talking about what's your favorite match, that wasn't a match. That was just a movie.
Now you can also add in the Edge Orton match.
Nobody cares about that one.
But it wasn't the greatest.
Really
we'll get to that. It was good, but obviously it wasn't the greatest.
That really wasn't. I don't think
it wasn't the greatest wrestling match ever.
That wasn't like produced. It may have been taped, but it wasn't like a production, like a movie thing, in my opinion.
I agree.
And what about you? We gave answers.
I would probably go Boneyard match first because that was like a little mini movie to me.
Okay.
So it was an all-encapsulated story, and you got to root for the hero and die with the villain and all that stuff.
Yep.
I'd go with that first, followed closely by Stadium Stampede because that was the most just entertaining kind of mishmash of all the silliness.
It's more the innovation in that because there were so many things going on there that WWE would never been able to do anything like that.
Right. Then I would go the Backlot match.
Okay.
Simply because it was almost like a 1980s movie, Jean-Claude Van Damme, like final battle kind of feel, and I really,
especially with all the cars lining it with their headlights on, like it was very
a lot of nostalgia feelies.
It was very late 80s, early 90s.
And then the only reason I put Firefly Funhouse at the back is because, just like Jeff said, it wasn't really a match to me. It told a great story, and it was a great production, and I loved everything that happened. I just didn't get wrestling from it.
There was no wrestling.
I'll give you that. So where, obviously, I assume we all know that the greatest wrestling match ever this weekend on Backlash is obviously going to be number 1. I mean...
Well, it's probably going to be the greatest ever. I will give Edge a little credit. Because of the blowback that they've been getting for calling this the greatest wrestling match ever.
Right.
You can't dub something that hasn't happened the greatest ever.
Exactly.
It has to be organic. But he has been on Twitter saying, I just drank the greatest cup of organic coffee ever. I just did the greatest floss dance ever. I just got told off by the greatest daughter ever.
I will say that I really enjoyed him and Christian. This week on Raw, the Peep Show. I thought
I love that
really
they had Christian come out and call him out. Like, I don't think you can do this.
You cannot do this, dude. Like, what are you doing? I really enjoyed that a lot. I really enjoyed that a lot.
And a pushover for Christian.
You're a giant Christian mark, so we know that.
Yeah, so.
So then in your house, which did happen, what was your highlights, lowlights? What did you enjoy the most? I'd probably say the female match is what I enjoyed the most, the triple threat.
You think?
I think that's what I enjoyed the most.
It's close with the backlot.
The backlot brawl was pretty good.
Backlot brawl was probably my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
The ladies match, although it was good, I don't think they gave enough credit to Io. They let her get beat up until she finally jumped off the top of something.
Yeah.
And then they said, that's good enough.
Mm-hmm.
So I know you're going to hate it when I say it. In my world, a lot of smacks to Shane McMahon. Can't win unless you jump off of something.
Yeah. That's
so
true.
now is
That's
that going to be her thing? She has to jump off of something high,
right? Which
to win a match.
was never her thing. That was Kairi Zane's thing, not Io Shirai.
No, I get it, but it worked for one. We should do it again.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I don't think they built Io enough to be this champion that she should be.
Yeah.
They haven't given her enough time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I honestly went with Rhea in this one, thinking that, I read an article where Triple H said her time away from the belt, like we gave it to her for a little bit, we took it off of her, gave it to Charlotte for a while, and that helped build her up.
Mm-hmm.
I like the fact that if you were going to make Rhea like your go-to NXT Women's Champion, and you're going to let her hold the belt for a long time, I kind of like the fact that you make her work for it, quote unquote.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
It makes it a lot more entertaining.
But that just means whoever has it in between, like right now, Io, that really downplays her.
Yeah.
Because she's just a placeholder at this point.
So that they don't have Rhea have it forever. Yeah, exactly.
Right? And then who else are you going to submarine? So, speaking of women's wrestling, I'm also going to say that although AEW is doing it a lot better, AEW, maybe it's just because of the pool they're working with, only promotes 4 or 5 different wrestlers in the women's division.
Yeah, that's true.
Like you have Nyla Rose. You now have Sheeta.
Holy Sheeta!
You have maybe
Statlander.
You have
Britt,
who's
now out.
And then,
by the way, her little
role model stuff
is hilarious.
It's pretty funny. it's pretty good. Like you can tell that they have a genuine passion for giving a good show.
Exactly.
But I don't know. I've been thinking about it a lot lately with the women's division, probably because there is no Becky, so my attention isn't fully devoted.
Right. To one woman, you can now look at all women.
Jeff said it the best, where he's like, Charlotte's been on every freaking show, and it's going to be that way.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to. You have tons of talent.
Exactly.
I want Bianca Belair out there. She goes there now.
Yeah. Exactly. She goes there.
All right, and then on a serious tip, speaking of Bianca Belair, and what's going on in the world today, I really appreciate that she and
Montez Ford,
have come up with this coalition that you can join and share and promote the growth of society.
We talked about it on our last episode. I'll make sure we put the link in again for this episode in the show notes. So
but I mean, and what you said was perfect and beautiful in the sentiment of all three of us. The only thing I want to add to it is this is a time and a need for change, something that we've called to, and please do it the right way. Be responsible. Don't be part of the problem. Be part of the solution in all this. Looting is not protesting. Looting is stealing.
True. But everybody should hate Paw Patrols because that's the new thing now.
Everybody hates Paw Patrols?
Yeah.
They want Chase the police dog out because he's a police dog.
Because he's a police dog.
Defund the police, take away Chase. Dumb.
Okay.
You know what else isn't smart?
Me?
Jeff.
Yeah.
I mentioned it to you guys.
Is that why we no longer have Brizongo, the fashion police?
Well, they did come out as astronauts the last time. Which is funny.
Is it Brizongo or Brizango?
Brizongo?
I say Brizango.
I think I say Brizango.
Well, it's Tyler Breeze and Fandango.
So it's Brizango.
So Brizango.
You can't change it to Brizongo.
I don't know what I say.
Maybe he puts an accent on the end.
I don't know what I say. It just comes out.
Anyway,
I got him agitated.
I mentioned to you guys the article that I know you saw too, Jeff, too, about the Otis and Mandy pool skit.
Yeah.
And so
how clever are they?
Which is I thought it was an interesting skit. It was kind of funny. Whatever.
How close do they live to the performance center?
I don't know.
I assume most of them probably live fairly close.
I mean, I do it for professional reasons. If you follow Mandy Rose on Instagram, she's always by a pool.
Yeah, exactly. So I assume she has one.
Tan.
How couldn't they just do it there?
Since WWE doesn't have a pool, and I guess Mandy Rose doesn't either, they called, or they wanted to use Zack Ryder's pool, but you can't use Zack Ryder's pool because, you fired him. So they just call his girlfriend, Chelsea Green.
Fiance. Wife. Sorry, wife.
Chelsea Green, and says, hey, can we use his house pool? Just film this. And then apparently Zack Ryder was literally shaking with anger when she got off the phone to tell him this, and they found another pool to use.
How ballsy are you? Hey, we just let you go. You're trying to figure out, in a time of corona, where you as a performer may find some lucrative income. But by the way, can we use your pool?
Right, yeah.
I could see Vince calling and being like, I'll give you $500.
Yeah. Now, do you think, speaking of this whole firing thing,
Not really.
this whole firing thing with Zack Ryder and everybody else, everything that happened with Drake Maverick, there was obviously just a giant storyline, and in the end, he loses the belt.
But Triple H was so impressed.
Gives him an NXT contract. If that was the storyline all along, are there people that did get fired that are upset that they used this real-life firing to make this fake storyline?
Yeah, but are those people going to be a part of a storyline too? Are they just getting time off?
I don't know.
Hey, I can't come and wrestle because of the COVID stuff? It's like, okay, we're going to, quotes, release you, and then...
I mean, I could see that maybe being with a couple, but they released like 30-odd-something people.
It's
They're
just
not bringing
weird,
them all back.
especially like the OC. Those guys, they had a pay-per-view match, and then the next day got released.
Yeah, but they don't want to be there. They're unhappy with WWE.
Well, because it sucks.
Right.
It does. We spent 30 minutes talking about
Yes,
that.
I know.
But people who did enjoy getting fired...
I would be mad because you're like, why are you bringing this guy named Spud back?
I'd be upset.
I should be there.
Yeah. But the Revival did show up on AEW, which we have not talked about yet. FTR. FTR.
Yeah.
What is it? Free the Resistance?
Sure. It's not just
They said
a
it was
name.
like 4 different things.
It's what the moment calls for.
Yep.
Okay. So fuck the Revival.
Follow the rules. Fuck the Revival.
Right.
The rest.
Fuck the rest. For the Revolution.
Yeah.
Fight through rage. I just came up with that
Ooh,
one.
nice. That's a good one. That's a good one. He's so rageful.
Fried chicken, tacos, and rice.
That'd be
That's
FCTR.
All right.
I mean, fried tacos and rice.
Yes.
Fries, tacos, and rice.
Yeah. All of which you can get at Taco Bell, since they have nacho fries.
Good call. Ooh, now I want Taco Bell.
No, it's
We had Taco Bell yesterday.
I know, but I want it again.
Awesome. Speaking of In Your House, we did a pickup challenge that we should mention.
Yeah, we did.
So we posted it up on the Twitter, but we didn't announce it yet on the show. We have a new challenger within the Pick'em Challenge. Another wrestling show reached out to us because we're awesome.
What are they, the monkey wrenches?
They are the Bald Monkey Wrestling Podcast, BMWP.
What's a bald monkey?
Are they all bald?
I don't know, but their picture's pretty cool.
There's like 5 of them. Right?
Yeah, there's like 5
Are
of
they
them.
all bald?
But
I don't know.
what would you call a bald monkey? What would that be a euphemism for?
A monkey that has no hair.
Okay. Anything else?
Why are you trying to make shit dirty?
I'm just saying.
I can see the smirk on your face.
The first time I saw their name, I laughed.
Why are you trying to make shit dirty?
Maybe they dirty.
Maybe, but they may be.
Well, because we're going to talk about scores here, and I'm just going to put it out there. Welcome. We're enjoying it. It's going to be a ton of fun, but if you beat us, you're going to get the shit.
So all of the scores, Jeff, Shy, myself, and Wrestling Life all got 7s.
Out of how many?
Out of 18.
Oh, I didn't.
John, Colin, and Alleged all got 12.
Yeah.
Out of 18.
Cheated.
And this Bold Monkey Wrestling Podcast got a perfect score of 18.
All right, look.
Oh, my God.
They are all probably nerds doing some abacus calculations with their trigonometries and their geometries and their oak trees and all the other trees that they use to make up their fancy math and figured it all out. It's either that or one of them is a professional wrestler and read the card and because
figure it out.
obviously they had.
I mean, we gave them our picks for their challenge
Yeah.
because they have a pick'em challenge too. We did not do nearly as well on theirs.
Well, because we went with the group consensus, which
Right.
was you two picked.
yeah, because we're better.
What'd you get?
7.
What did you get?
7. So we got 14.
What did I get?
12.
So
We got 14.
You can't combine your
You got
sevens.
12.
You can't combine
But there's
your
2 of
sevens.
us.
I know.
The
But
main thing.
had you listened to the demigod, we would have at least gotten a 12.
Listen, the main thing about Bald Monkey Wrestling Podcast.
Don't listen to me, son.
Follow them. They're a great show. Listen to them. They can't win because they live in Australia. And we can't afford to ship a belt to
We're already
Australia.
shipping them to Ireland.
It took forever to get it to Ireland. So
It's
many
fine.
stamps.
So what in Australia is a bald monkey? I'm kind of along John's line now.
Yeah, no.
What does it
no.
stand for?
It's got to stand for something. It can't be that they are all 5 monkeys
So
and they're all bald.
bald monkeys, you need to let us know what it stands for.
Maybe, I mean, we could have easily named our show, baldish donkeys, because I'm bald. Jeff's going bald.
Getting there. And
I have a
John's not.
luxurious
You have
amount of hair.
somehow.
So if they're
still have
Look,
hair
when
at your age.
When you're dealing with all the rest of this ugliness, at least I am frocked with hair.
can we just call them Hanson?
You know what?
Because
You
their
know what?
initials are Mbop.
How about
Bop.
we challenge them? International phone call. We argue our points
About what a bald monkey is?
voice to voice, and they have to tell us what a bald monkey is,
Got it.
and then we'll tell them what the T3 stands for.
And we'll tell them what a bald monkey really is.
It's a
And they'll
penis.
tell us what T3 really
It's-
stands for.
Bald monkey's a penis.
Okay.
It's a penis. It's a penis.
Now, do we want to talk about Backlash?
Do you want to get it out of the way and then move into AEW?
Let's get it out of the way.
All right.
Moving to AEW.
So
'cause
coming up
AEW is
this
fun.
Sunday,
This Sunday,
Backlash
Backlash.
with Bobby Lashley.
This is, as of now,
It's
it's
like a hot
Backlash.
rash.
You got Extreme Rules scheduled for next month, and then WWE has nothing else scheduled. So,
Ooh, our pick challenge might end.
We're
early.
rebranding early.
Ooh.
that's all that's listed so far on the WWE schedule is
We'll be
pay-per-views.
okay. We'll
But
be
then
okay.
AEW should have one.
AEW
coming
has
up.
Fyter Fest.
Should have their
Fyter
Fire
Fest.
Fest at the end of this month
Fighter.
for their Fire Fest.
But that's not a pay-per-view.
then
Burning
No.
Man.
It's airing over 2 days.
2 days,
on
yeah.
TNT.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, we're going to treat it like a pay-per-view.
Yes.
right. Because why not?
Because it's going to be grandiose. like it.
Backlash, as we mentioned, the
Matches.
greatest wrestling match ever.
Because they told us so.
Because they told us so. Edge versus Orton. Who gets the win this time?
I'm going to go Orton.
Okay.
And it's going to be a dirty win.
Yeah?
You just like things dirty.
Does like things dirty.
I'm 50 years old.
I'm.
I need something to excite me in my world.
Wow. I'm going with Orton also. I don't think they're going to have him lose twice in a row to this guy.
I think they're going to make it a 2 out of 3.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. They're going to make it a 2 out of
Yeah.
3, so they'll have something else at Extreme Rules that'll be the greatest
The
in-ring
greatest
performance.
greatest
Extreme Rules,
retirement match ever.
non-disqualification,
Greatest DQ
lizard
match
nipple
ever.
twister match ever.
Braun
What
Strowman versus
about you?
Bobby.
What about
I mean,
you?
Give us your pick.
I said I'm going with you guys. I'm going with Orton because
did
they're
you?
going to do a
I
3.
didn't
I didn't hear it.
Yeah, because you guys are too busy
Okay.
talking over me.
Okay. So we all
Wait,
picked
we were
Orton.
talking. Men were talking.
Bobby Lashley versus current champion Drew McIntyre.
The men were talking.
All right, John went first last
Now.
I'm going to
So
go
it's
first.
okay. I
So
can talk here. I'm going to throw it on
I'm
the table.
going to go with Drew because he just got the belt. Really hasn't wrestled anybody as of late for the belt, except for one guy.
Yeah.
Maybe, really?
Yeah.
Like a big match. So I'm going to go with Drew this time. I don't care what you think.
Yeah, I'm
Right.
going to go Drew. I'm going to go Drew just because I don't want Bobby Lashley to have it.
Yeah.
I think it's time for the strap, and I think to make it look good, I'm going Lashley.
Oh,
You're going.
oh.
I am
what you're doing
feeding
there.
the need of the
I
masses.
see what you're doing there. See what you're doing there.
That's kind of a smart
Just saying.
thought there.
Braun Strowman, the monster among men, in a handicap match versus Hey Hey Ho Ho, Miz and Morrison.
Let's go.
Let's go. I'm going to say Braun wins it because if he doesn't, I don't know what they're going to do with a tag team winning one belt.
You can have them go against each other for who controls it, but I don't think that's what they're going to do with it. They're going to keep them together because honestly, they're the most entertaining thing on SmackDown.
Yep.
I
So
think Braun's going to win.
Braun wins.
Unanimous decision. Good job, guys. Good job.
And he's pissed at what they did.
Right.
And flipped the van.
And flip the van.
Yeah, so he's going to be so mad he's going to win.
Asuka.
Asuka.
I think that's how you say her name.
I think that's how
right?
you say her name. Versus Nia Jax. Irresistible Force.
The pretty-eyed lady.
The pretty-eyed lady.
We're waiting on you to give us your pick.
I think Asuka will retain. And I'm not going to lie. I don't particularly care for Nia Jax in the ring because I think she's dangerous.
Dangerous? Yep.
We've said that many a times.
Many a times.
But she's got the most beautiful eyes. Like, she has very
That doesn't
pretty
win
eyes.
matches.
Okay.
I'm thinking not with my brain here. I'm
Right.
just like looking at Nia Jax, she has very pretty eyes.
I'm going with
I'm
Asuka.
going with Asuka as well. She just got that belt. They're
Yeah.
not going to drop it to Nia. Nobody wants Nia.
They're
as
going
the
to build
champ.
her up and make her look strong so Charlotte can take it from her.
Yeah,
Probably.
Exactly.
That's it.
Yeah.
Probably. The match I could care less about on this entire thing is Jeff Hardy versus Sheamus.
So,
Hardy, just because.
well, Hardy just killed Sheamus this week.
Right.
So Sheamus will take him at Backlash.
I'm leaning towards Sheamus, and then Hardy will have more building up somehow, and this is going to be his final.
The rebirth of Hardy.
Right, exactly. We have Boss Hog. Boss Hog. That's a different show.
That's funny.
Boss Hug Connection, the current champions, versus Crisscross Applebloss, or whatever they're called these days.
Crisscross Applebloss.
Yeah. And the Iconics. The only actual tag team
Exactly.
in all of WWE.
Look, I'm not going to lie. Out of those three pairings, I actually want the Iconics to win for the simple fact that they are the most entertaining with the belts.
They are. They were good with the belts last time.
Not the best wrestlers in the ring, but a lot of fun in promos and kind of holding the belts.
Well, and I liked the promo they had this week where they were, or I guess on SmackDown where they had it, where they were all talking and the Iconics were like, we had the belts. We won them from you guys, Boss Hug Connection, at WrestleMania. Do you remember that? Like, that's where we took them from you. Like, just that they've actually won a decent amount of matches.
Yeah.
So I'd probably go for them just because I want the actual tag team to have it.
Now,
Like,
when it comes to assets in the ring, Jeff, who's your pick?
Boss Hug.
Boss Hog.
Because you feel that they have the most assets
Yes. The best assets.
and you really appreciate their assets.
Yes.
Okay.
So is that who you think's going to win?
Yes. They just got the belts. If I'm correct, I did hear that they've already filmed this.
I believe they have,
They filmed
yes.
it before even the episodes that they
Yes.
filmed of what they've just shown us.
Right,
the crap
right,
they-
which is the
they gave
weirdest
us
thing in the world to
this
me, but
week.
yes.
So, I with the belts back and forth that short time frame, I think they'll just keep it on them for a little bit. Who knows?
What's left?
And then we have Apollo Crews versus Andrade.
So, I don't get Zelina Vega's stable when one wins still means somebody lost.
Right. Yeah.
But, you know what? I say Apollo retains.
Yep, me too.
Agreed.
Simply because it's been a short time he's had the belt. He's still fresh. We still find him entertaining.
Yeah.
You don't
I think
have
he
to-
still has some potential to keep moving up.
Yeah.
There's plenty of people for him to go against that he can fight.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I agree. He retains. So that'll be up there. We'll have more pick'ems for you on next week's episode.
You know, this whole pay-per-view sounds amazing. Like
Amazing.
it's going to be possibly the greatest pay-per-view ever.
I'm really hoping
No?
with this
No?
pre-film they've been doing, we're going to have something similar to In Your House or the other events that have happened where we're talking like a 2.5 hour show.
I think
Guys,
they're
I'm
leaning that way anyway.
really liking that.
Guys, I don't know if you noticed this. The whole time we've been talking about WWE, I have been trying to stifle yawns. There's been no excitement in WWE for me.
Not at all.
Like it bothers me that I have to force myself to try and find something like, oh, that one move is pretty cool.
Right. This
one
like,
person is good.
You were kind of getting that way before all this.
We
COVID
all were
stuff
getting
happened.
that way before.
You're like,
yeah.
I don't know if I can watch SmackDown anymore after that episode. If it's like that again, I might have to stop.
And then all this happened.
And then all this happened and made it worse.
And have we all not kind of...
agree.
I think I'm the only one that watches most of them as they're aired.
We all watch it afterwards.
And you guys watch it afterwards, and you've even said it takes you a couple days to get through Raw.
Because you don't want to watch it.
Right.
Like, it's bad when I feel I can get up for most of the show. I think the only thing that's holding my interest as far as storyline right now is actually what's going on with Seth Rollins and this Monday Night Messiah thing.
Yeah.
Like it or not, like I think it could be better, it's been done better or what have you. I still enjoy it. But everything else is just kind of like, hey, do something. We don't like each other. Now we fight.
Yeah.
I'm not getting any, like, go back to the days where you would build. Like, this is what AEW is doing right now. Cody Rhodes is going to wrestle Jake Hager, and it was made, on Wednesday night.
Yeah.
They're going to fight a Fyter Fest for the TNT Championship. But there's some backstory there, like, the Inner Circle and the Elite have been arguing and fussing and
they're taking their time to put something together, and I think AEW has just realized how much more in this time that we're in, where there's very little audience, where that you need more storyline to push stuff, and you need it to be something entertaining. Otherwise, we don't care. Like, I don't care that Shorty G is wrestling. If you don't make it interesting and more than just a short joke.
That's why part of it, they have too many people. And, and they got rid of a lot.
Right.
Probably because of that. I don't think they know what to do.
No, I agree. Which is why we like AEW more. So let's talk about AEW and how Orange Cassidy is the greatest and most feared wrestler
of all time.
Well,
now he's Blood Orange Cassidy.
Right.
And if you listen to Le Champion, he has been freshly squeezed. All right, so probably the best story in wrestling right now for sheer entertainment value is 2 weeks ago, Jericho's out in the ring calling out, Mike Tyson. I was going to say Muhammad Ali.
Baddest man on the planet.
Baddest man on the planet and all that. He goes, I want the greatest of all time to come out here. And Orange Cassidy just comes strutting out.
I mean,
perfect.
Yeah. And I think there was a decent pop just because of it was there, and as we said, AEW does a better job with their audience. But imagining that happening on a regular Dynamite within an arena would have been hilarious.
Oh, it would have been great.
People would have literally lost their mind.
But, what AEW is doing right now is the talent dictates the direction the character goes, and then they are using that character to the best of its ability, I feel. Like,
right.
Although they have had some misfires and missteps. If you want to remember the Brandy storyline where she was building her Nightmare female stable and all that stuff.
Yes.
All in all, AEW is just taking their time and doing it better.
Yeah.
They don't have to be perfect.
But what I like about AEW, to piggyback off of you, is if something's not working, they cut it. They don't stick with it. The Librarians, that lasted, 2 weeks?
Yeah, but we still had the Librarians, but now they're a secondary role.
Exactly.
Yeah. And they're taking stats.
But that's the problem with WWE is they keep pushing stuff down our throats that we don't want. That's not working.
They're almost like,
keep going.
I'm gonna prove to you why this is a good storyline.
That's why Lana Lashley was there for 2 months.
When do you think somebody goes to Vince and just like, dude, your time's done?
I think they have.
You own the company, but you can't write this shit anymore.
It would not surprise me if, while all this was happening, the person who may have done that was Paul Heyman. And that is why Heyman is now concentrating on his in-ring persona and no longer working anything else.
But I mean...
And when they see that stops anybody else from doing that kind of stuff.
I don't know. The Khan family has given AEW a prime opportunity and said, sink or swim, we're going to bet on you.
Right.
And I think they made the right choice.
Yes.
We talked to Cody a week ago.
Friend of the show, Cody Rhodes.
Right. Like he could even point us out in the crowd.
Friend of the show. Video chat. He knows who we are.
Anyway.
We have proof.
We have proof.
Cody has come out and said numerous times in developing the AEW and trying to make it the wrestlers' platform for their art. I gotta say, right now, kudos to him. I think they've done it.
It's working.
Yeah, I think they have.
I don't know if they have health care for all the wrestlers and lifetime contracts and all this stuff that we were all told
That they were
the
talking
land
about,
of
yeah.
milk and honey, but end all be all, for what you're allowing your wrestlers to do and the freedoms you are giving them both in their promos and in the ring, it's selling. It works.
Because they do things, like you said, giving them that freedom, that ability that I think most pro wrestlers want. I mean, most of them start in some sort of indies wrestling where they came up with their own persona. They came up with what they wanted to do. They made their own promos while they were driving around in their head. Like, that's how everyone started, and that's how they want to keep it going. I mean,
And that's
what
why
they enjoy.
NXT was good, because they came up with their own thing.
Right.
And
My wife saw both cage matches where on AEW Dynamite where he's just throwing around basically jobbers.
Right.
And she's like, you got that big dude in there against those little guys, and he's just going to throw him around. That's not fair. And I'm like, this is wrestling. It's anybody has an opportunity at anyone. She goes, but I mean, it's scripted. I'm like, I know it's scripted, but you have to understand they have to develop that Cage is this monster.
Right.
So that when he goes up against somebody that we care about, like Moxley's the champ, and he's our favorite, and he's basically
make it a good match.
our face. Now we have the good and the bad, somebody to cheer for and against.
And especially if they have Mox win, then it's like, look, he took down this guy that destroys people.
Well, because you have to do something like that, because especially somebody like Cage, you stand Cage next to anybody, and it's like there's no reason he should look.
I think because you don't want to bury somebody like Moxley. If you were going to drop the belt to Cage, it has to be dirty.
Exactly.
Moxley has to walk away looking, like
and that's
he got
why. And you
screwed.
have to make him. You have to make him look like a monster, going against all these other jobbers and almost killing people to make us believe that he would have to cheat to win.
And I mean, at Fyter Fest, we're going to have that match.
Yeah, which is going to be
So,
awesome.
But, like we have the promos where Cage comes out of nowhere and submarines Mox and throws him against the car, and Taz is confronting Moxley. So, I mean, I like all of that, and I think, like I said, if they're going to do it dirty, you pick the right person, throw a Taz in there.
Yeah. I think he's good in there. I mean, like, I think the thing is with AEW, there's very little negative criticism that I have about most of the stuff they're doing. Like, I think it's weird that they got rid of Bunny from Butcher and Blade, and Bunny's doing this whole thing with QT Marshall now.
I think they're trying to build some Nightmare Family inner turmoil.
That's what I'm wanting.
Maybe giving Brandy a match with Bunny. I always found it weird, it's Cody's wife, but she's always with Dustin.
Yeah. I mean, she came out at Double or Nothing with Dustin. Not with Cody.
Which is fine. It's just weird, though, isn't it?
It is.
But, I mean, it looks like they're trying to build some sort of tension. We know Brandy can go. We know the Bunny can go. It could be a good match.
Yeah.
Something fun. But I also think it's giving some story to QT.
Yeah, because that's true. He really had none.
When he came up, it was like, oh, he's our good friend. So we were like, oh, he's a friend of Cody.
Right.
We'll watch him. And then he's a good wrestler, but I think now
it's
fleshing him out.
Yeah.
So instead of just a guy who likes apples.
I mean,
we're friends with Cody, but I don't want to watch you.
I mean, I'd wrestle, though.
Would you wrestle,
I would watch you two wrestle, yes.
Would you want to wrestle one of us?
No.
Why not?
No.
We're fat and slow.
Yeah.
You at least got speed on us, I think.
I think I am faster than...
I think
I don't...
You guys would pull my hair, wouldn't you?
Yeah, oh, yes.
Yeah. You're hair pullers.
I got a little bit of hair you could pull. Craig's got nothing.
No.
Pull a beard.
Did I tell you my wife did that the other day?
Pulled your beard?
Is that why you trimmed it?
Yeah. My wife grabbed the whole handful of hair right here and it's sticking out of her fingers. For those of you who can't see because we're on a podcast, it's my cheek. And I I had like a Duck Dynasty thing going. She grabbed a whole handful of hair and just pulled. And I was like, what the hell? She goes, shave this or you don't get this. I shaved.
And still didn't get...
Oh, no, I got it.
Way too much information. I don't need to know that.
This is a wrestling podcast.
It's a wrestling podcast.
Now
I have to click explicit.
It was a delicious steak dinner. I don't know what you guys were thinking.
I just want to grow my beard forever. Like, just super long.
I tell you what, with the length I got it, where like you had to comb it and shape it, it was a chore.
Yeah, that's why I got a hot comb now to straighten my beard. I got one for my birthday.
You know it's going to happen.
Hot comb.
You're going to burn all the hair off of your face and just be
hot
completely
comb,
bald.
Just straighten out the beard, then you put the polish on it.
No, what I found was the conditioner, your shampoo conditioner, you put in your hair. Yeah. Put that in your beard. Then when you come out of the shower and you towel dry your beard, make sure you get it underneath, blow dry, and then the oil.
The oils.
Yeah.
The oils.
You blow dry for the shape, and then you oil it. And
Thanks for joining us on Beard Talk.
Beard conditioner?
I have plenty.
I have a beard conditioner
Why
bottle.
would you?
I was trying to get it to grow. It still comes out patchy, so I stopped using it.
Beard Talk.
Yeah.
We should start a whole new show just about beards.
Who do you think has the best beard in wrestling? Braun Strowman?
I don't know. I really like Ciampa's just...
Yeah.
I don't give a shit everywhere.
Ciampa's crazy beard.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. Drew
I like Drew's.
Drew Mac's got the sexy boy beard.
Yeah.
Have you seen, speaking of sexy boy, have you seen Shawn Michaels' beard recently?
Did you see Shawn Michaels, Triple H, and
Road
Road Dogg trying to figure out how to put the stuff in the computer? That was probably the funniest
It looked like that scene from Zoolander with Ben Stiller and...
The files are in the computer.
Can't get him out.
Triple H's beard.
Oh,
that's what I would go with.
He'd probably be
glorious.
He'd probably be my one. I don't know. I really like Elias's beard too.
I'm still going Triple H. Triple H's beard was what I was going for, I think, in my head.
In your head?
I couldn't admit it at the time, but now thinking about it,
that's what you were trying to
that's his
shape.
Beard. That's the one I want to emulate. Yeah, I want to come down to that like rugged kind of cut off, badass motherfucker look.
I'm just letting it grow.
Yeah.
Like if I don't put the oil in it, it's just kind of like
Jesus, put it back in.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's enough beer talk. And that's what I was like.
All right, look.
AEW.
Back to AEW.
WWE. Suck it.
One of my favorite performers now, and fastly becoming one of the better performers. Like, this wrestler is growing every time I see them perform. Chris Statlander.
Yeah. She actually was just on this week's episode of the AEW podcast.
Right.
Which she was very good on. Even better than I thought she would be just in general conversation. Because, she plays this weird character where she, like, boops people's nose and shit, so I didn't know, like, how she would actually be talking. But she was actually very good, and it's very interesting to hear her story and stuff like that. I think, as we talked about it before after Double or Nothing, I think she's the next one they're sort of starting to push up to maybe go for the belt. Like,
and then Nyla Rose.
Yes. DC native.
Oh, there's
hopeful friend of the show.
A beast in the ring. But what I am most appreciative of Nyla Rose right now is her tweets.
Yes.
So I think I sent it to you guys. Like, I was just checking out my tweet board, and she had tweeted, like, it's bad when you see a trailer full of 2x4s, and it's somebody building a deck, but all you can think of is, where are you putting up a ring?
Yeah, you building a ring? Where at? I'll do it. Yeah.
So I really appreciate that kind of mentality. What do you think of this thing where... who was it got in the car with Sonny Kiss? Like, lost a match and then was walking the streets. Oh, Joey Janela.
That's who it was, yes.
What the heck's going on there?
I don't know. And I'm interested, like, they've shown Sonny Kiss here and there. He's in a lot of the pre-show stuff. They haven't done a lot with him on Dynamite. So I'm wondering what's happening with him in general.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but I'd always, like, I kind of find it fun when, like, there's a minor character and then you can kind of see them, like, let's build a story with this person.
Yeah.
I like watching that develop.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the good things AEW has going is it's all still sort of new. I mean, it's been a year. Double or Nothing was almost a year exactly. It's all still sort of new, so you're interested in those side characters, where WWE, they bring up somebody that you haven't seen in a while, and you're like, oh, God, they're bringing Hardy back again?
Yeah. I've seen him 7 times.
Right.
And then I seen him get locked up 8.
Oh, hey.
But, I mean, the flip side is it's like, you've got the Gun Club, Billy Gunn and his kid.
Yep.
I want to see his kid wrestle. I know what Billy Gunn can do. I've seen him wrestle last year.
Right, exactly.
But and I also like the fact that when you have the wrestlers on the side, like this week you had MJF call out Billy Gunn.
Yep.
As crowd.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Yeah. Like Jeff said, they're doing it so much better.
It's so much better. And I find myself, like, I can guarantee you, NXT is my favorite WWE program.
Yes, 100%.
However, I have totally decided that I watch AEW Dynamite on Wednesdays.
Yeah, I know you used to be a flipper.
Yeah, I used to flip because I
used to be a flipper. Both. I used to be a straight NXT.
Yeah, now I'm an NXT Thursday catch up.
Yeah.
I do like the fact that like a character like Dustin Rhodes, who could do whatever he wants in that company, is basically, I'm allowing myself to take off.
Yeah.
What I really, 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 really love and what I'm excited for is this slow burn with Sean Spears.
Yeah, got the glove
even
now, so
the subtle thing of him just sitting 5 rows behind Tully and staring at Tully every time they cut over there.
Yeah.
That tells volumes.
Yeah.
I am looking forward to the Sean Spears bad guy outbreak.
Yeah. And I will say I enjoyed him as a general talent as Ty Dillinger, but he had seen him now. He was so much wasted talent there. Like, he is so much better. It's his out of ring work.
It's like George Michael, the front man of Wham. It's poppy and fun and good, and we loved it, and it was great, and it had its moment. But then when George Michael went off on his solo career,
right, exactly,
and you're just like,
freedom.
That man got talent,
father figure.
I mean, you got bluesy soul,
exactly.
Yeah.
Faith. Yeah, that was by himself. Yeah, Faith.
Yeah, Faith.
Faith. The faith.
Father figure,
That's what
freedom.
I said.
Baby,
I wasn't asking. I was saying.
Praying for time. You know, Careless Whisper was actually by him. He had actually left Wham by the time that song was written and performed.
Really?
Yeah. That was all George Michael. But the record company said, hey, can we just keep it on the Wham album because... And he's like, sure.
Such a nice guy.
I don't care. He's making money at the time.
He is.
Anyway, enough music talk. If you want to hear about music, we just did a music 30-day challenge.
30-day challenge. Go back and listen to it.
If you have any questions about music or want to know
Pretty
our
sure
picks,
Wham and George Michael come up on it.
Yes, I know they do because I'm a huge fan, apparently. With all that being said, though, AEW is, in my world, on fire right now.
Yep.
Is there things they could do better? Sure. Are there things that you're kind of like, meh? Yes. But end all, be all, the AEW Dark, their podcast, their AEW Dynamite show is just popping and clicking with each other, and it all works.
Yeah. I mean, I would say I think all of us are more excited for the little bit we know for Fyter Fest coming up in 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. We're more excited for that than we are for In Your House that we just saw and Backlash coming up. Like,
oh yeah. Well, and I look forward to watching Dynamite.
Yeah, I look forward to watching. I will go out of my way to make sure I watch Dynamite as soon as I possibly can. Whereas, I mean, half the time, my kid wants to watch something on YouTube. I'll be like, you can watch that. I don't need to watch Raw. It's fine.
Is it porn?
It's usually porn for my 7-year-old, yeah.
I don't know what you let your kid watch.
I mean, whatever's on YouTube.
But see, here's the difference. When you're like, usually my kid wants to watch something on YouTube, I'm thinking, oh, she's got a tablet and you're going to watch it on the TV.
Oh, no, I just let her watch it on the TV.
See, I don't know how that works.
Well, you don't have
how do you make the
7-year-old
magic little box go to the magic big box?
Magic.
What's the prestidigitation on that?
Magic! You know! Also, comes up on 30-day.
It does.
Challenge.
Magic by Pilot.
And what are we working on now?
Now we're working on
Movie
the 30-day
challenge.
movie challenge, which is also just as much fun. So make sure you're following us on all those socials at T3 Network on Twitter, T3 Network on Facebook, Instagram, putting some stuff on the TikTok. We have our website now up and going.
Send us ideas on the next 30-day challenge because
we don't really have
we haven't
one
talked
yet.
about it yet.
We don't have one yet.
We did music.
We did movies.
Now we need the next 30
somebody
days.
did mention, will we do a wrestling one at some point? Maybe.
Well,
but
we kind of include wrestling.
we include
in
wrestling
each of this.
in it. I think is more fun.
We're not all about wrestling. We have other things
We
that
have
you're
other
going to find
interests.
out about us.
Multifaceted.
Multifaceted.
Jeff likes to talk about cross-dressing. He'll have a show out on that soon.
Right.
Sure.
Craig, you're all about self-mutilation and torture, right?
Right. Mm-hmm. T3
And-
slashes.
And I like to talk about food.
You like to talk about food. Mm-hmm. That's why our next show is going to be called just Happy Meal.
Value meal.
Oh, whatever. Same thing.
I don't.
Except one is for a child like you.
Wait, no. Remember, I'm old.
That's true. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Takedown, folks. Make sure you follow us on anything. Give us those 5-star ratings and reviews, please. It makes our product out there so more people see it, more people know we're about there. Call our hotline, 202-556-4433. Don't worry, we don't actually answer the phone, so you can just leave us a voicemail. You can
You can text us.
You can text us. It goes directly to our email and to my phone. So if you text us at some point in the middle of the night,
guess what's going to happen?
I'll be waking up. If you text the middle of the day, the middle of the day, I may be waking up then too, depending on when I worked. So,
And how much you drank.
and how much I drank. Which
We've
is
been
a
meaning
lot.
to talk to you about that.
Maybe we should do a whole drinking 30-day challenge.
Ooh.
Oh no.
We might have to.
And please be sure to get on and follow us on Instagram if you haven't already. We are only 46, I think, people away from 100.
And what happens at 100?
So we can chop Jeff.
Big chops.
Me and John, same time.
If you call and leave a voicemail, John gets chopped.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And 5-star
5-star reviews,
Craig gets
I get
chopped.
chopped.
But you don't get to chop us. We chop each other.
Right. This is how it works. Brenda and Rick.
Yeah.
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 Do we call them Brick?
Rick. Is that it works, Brick?
I don't know if you want to know this, but what I often call Rick is RT Justice, and he knows why.
Or, yeah. Rinda? Brick's much better.
Brick's better.
Brick's better. Thank you for joining us, folks. Peace.
It's magic, you know. Never believe it's that so. Never been awake, never seen a day break. Leaning on my pillow in the morning. Lazy day in bed, music in my head. Crazy music playing in the morning light. Oh, ho, ho, it's magic, you know. Never believe it's that so. It's magic, you know. Never believe it's that so.
T3 Podcast Network. Thoughts.
Theories.
Talk.